Wake up, babe. They just dropped another sailing blog thingamajiggly. Also, see all this free space down here? If we hit refresh on this, you'll see that I actually did pay for advertising on the RuneScape website. So yeah, if you are interested, subscribe to Flomple on everything ever. Great, it was $6 I paid. That's all. Pretty good deal. Okay, new skill. Say woo. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna try and typically blaze through this, but this video is probably gonna be 78 minutes long. If it's less than 78 minutes long, drop a like. That's what you gotta do. This video here, actually quite good video. Really explains it. Pro tip for anybody who watches videos ever, just put it on 1.5x speed. Your brain can comprehend that, no problem. Cool, yeah, so that saves you time and your life effectively gets longer. Sailing skill core gameplay, we're gonna read some of these. Okay, what's a skill? Firstly, it's worth establishing what a skill is to ensure sailing is one. Skills are like character attributes that have a use around the world consisting of a simple, repeatable core action that generates XP, allowing you to advance in levels for a satisfying sense of progression. So basically what they're saying is sailing is a skill because you're going to get XP from it. Good job, Jagex. Really nailed the head on the hammer there. They can carefully introduce new systems or aspects to the game, offering up fresh ways to play while still maintaining a familiar feeling to help visualize, blah, blah, blah. See, they're trying so hard to get into the nitty-gritties of why is it a skill, and they're just missing the fact that, it's a skill because this was a skill in medieval times. You had people whose entire lives revolved around getting good at sailing. It's something that you can practice to get better at. I think that's what they should have kind of said here. Anyways, skipping ahead here. How to sail. If the not exact base, I don't know why I said exact. The very start of sailing is just going to be you on a little tiny little boat here, and you're going to fasten the sails. They say about 30 seconds your sails will luff. Luff meaning they're no longer catching the wind. They're no longer erect. Fully erect boner kind of sails, and you gotta re-luff them. I don't know, fasten them. You gotta fasten them up. So that's kind of like every 30 seconds you can click that, and that'll give you a little bit of XP. It's kind of like, what would be I guess, so when you're fishing, the spot moves, for example, every couple seconds. When you're chopping a tree, the tree goes down, and you gotta click a new tree. That's basically what it is. You can't just hit the ocean and sail in a straight line forever. Eventually your sails will stop catching wind and you'll stop moving. So honestly, that's fine. To me, that's fine. Here's the best part. If you don't want to do it, hire an NPC and they will do it for you. So you can focus on other stuff on your ship. You just won't get the XP for it. It's amazing. Make this skill for everyone. Make it so every playstyle can do it. If you don't want to do a specific thing, you don't have to. So if you don't want to ever touch your sails, yeah, just hire someone to do it, no problem. Many ship facilities will exist, so there'll be plenty of opportunities to get sailing XP from interacting with them beyond merely fastening the sails. So facilities is basically a POH hotspot. So your ship, as you get a bigger ship, you get more facilities and you can build more stuff. For example, if you wanted to, make a skilling based boat, you can build up a fishing station, a hunting harpoon, a weighted net to go on the front of your boat. If you want to make a combat-based boat or ship, cannon, ballista, ram, that's where they put an animal in there, spear, stuff like that for combat. And then utility would be like a salvaging hook, a cargo hold, a lantern, a crow's nest. Crow's nest, for those who don't know, is like a big old high spot where you can look out with a telescope to see far ahead. So that's what the facilities will be like. So you'll get your boat, you'll fasten the sails, you'll have some facilities that help your boat do stuff. And you basically get to choose how to play. If you want to do skilling, you do skilling. If you want to do combat, you do combat. If you want to do utility, you do utility. Here's an example of a couple of things that you could do. There's going to be a captain's log, just like a collection log, but this one is for boatage only. They should call the skill boatage. They would probably pass if they did that. So the first time you're out in the sea, you've got Look at all these oceans that they've got listed on the right here. Like, I hope they obviously, those are real. Like, they look real. Pirate Sea, Sea of Fossils, the Akron Fjords. Wow. Throw all of those in there, and then basically as you go along, I feel like it's going to be kind of like Pokemon. You're like looking for stuff. So they have sea charts. You know, the sea is the first thing. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself. The next one they were saying like, oh, like encounters. Like when you find an encounter of, for example, a giant kraken, it will check it off on your captain's log. So green logging, amazing, good content. Honestly, I think it's fun, and you don't have to if you don't want to. It's not going to like stop you from doing anything. But you'll get XP the first time you go to places, which I think is good and fine. Salvaging shipwrecks. Floating about in your boat, you might notice a boat's been crimpled, a little bit of a crimplage over there. So you can go up and you can salvage it. You just basically low intensity, low experience, low to medium rewards. So it sounds like this would be really cool. Imagine you're like 1 in 1,000 chance of finding like an amazing cool thing when you're salvaging a boat. Maybe you go up to a boat and it gives you between like 3 to 10 rolls on a standard sailing loot table, and then you have a chance to get some insane item. That'd be pretty dope. That looks good. This is another low intensity one. Flipping over to the next one, port tasks. Tasks like definitely you wanna have some sort of, like this is Slayer. Like that's what the skill is. You get a task and you complete the task. But obviously sailing is gonna have other ways of training it. But at least they'll have something like, oh, if you like how you train Slayer, then do this. When you do farming, if you like farming contracts, then you'll like this as well. The intensity will be low or medium. Experience will be low to high. Rewards will be low to medium. So you'll go to an NPC. You'll ask them for a task. They might tell you to do something like fill up your cargo hold as you transport precious goods across the ocean. Yeah, basically there was an example in the video where they're like, yeah, just like get 100 mackerel and then bring it from point A to point B, and then you'll get a little splash of XP at the end. While you're sailing, going to that place, you can either just kind of AFK for a bit while you're just going in a straight line, or you can high alch, or you can fletch. You can do all kinds of stuff. Protecting tasks. So it might say like, hey, protect our boat as we get over here. So you're kind of like either bringing a person or you're protecting a different boat with cannons. So that's kind of like PVM on the open seas. Investigation, track down lost ships and recover what you can with a salvaging hook. There'd be like salvaging contracts. Like, hey, my buddy went out this way like 3 days ago, hasn't come back. Can you go rescue him? That's pretty cool. Tasks will scale with your sailing level, become more complex, more lucrative. Only the most skilled captains will be trusted with the most valuable tasks. Yeah, I love sailing. I love sailing. No, I love sailing contracts. That's good. Ship racing. Blast, dodge, ram, and weave your way through the most perilous of ocean routes with an action-packed race against the waves to prove your status as a legendary captain. Finishing a race alone or against others will award sailing XP among completion, with certain wind conditions offering even greater rewards, from unique ship build materials to specialized facilities or even a map leading to an undiscovered part of the sea. This looks cool. Obviously, this is like the high intensity, high experience one for low rewards. You don't want to have something that's high intensity, high experience, high rewards. That would be like a raid. This is a skilling method where you want to get good XP. Well, master how you navigate your boat on the open seas. I'm going to read some more of this. The Barracudas, a faction of thrill-seeking sailors, have set up a series of dangerous challenges around the sea, serving as the ultimate test of your navigation skills. It's kind of cool. Like, literally picture the Soat Maze. That's kind of what I picture this being, but with an entirely new way of navigating your boat. Like, instead of in the Soat Maze in Theater of Blood, you click and your character runs and you just kind of navigate through and there's a tornado chasing you. This will be when you click to move your boat, like it changes direction a little bit, then you need to adjust the sails to get up there faster. Like, it's kind of like 4-dimensional pathfinding. And they've shown the ways of which boats will move, and it depends on how big your boat is and are the sails up or down? Are they this or that? Like, I think it'll be cool. I think you should be able to like turn 90-degree angle if you drop an anchor or something like that, or you can like throw some facilities like overboard, like throw your crow's nest over the side to get a little bit faster. I don't know. Anyways, I think this would be pretty cool. Lots of sailing XP. And it says the route changes each time you visit, so stay on your toes. That's really cool. All right. Primary gameplay. Let's check this out. Ship combat. Fire your cannons, defend from pirates, and defeat the most fearsome sea creatures. Ship combat is a massive topic that we'd like to cover in detail at a later stage. For now, here's an overview of what an encounter might look like. So there's 3 requirements to do combat with your ship. First, you need a target. For example, while you're out sailing, you might come across a sea serpent. Secondly, you'll need a weapon built on your ship. Let's imagine that you've got the cannon on deck ready for action. Last thing you need is ammunition for the weapon. Luckily, you've prepared and brought some mithril cannonballs. Yo, we're getting new cannonballs. That's kind of cool. Can I put my dwarf multi-cannon on the deck of my boat so that it shoots all directions? Let's go. That'll be fire. To attack the sea serpent, navigate close enough within cannon range and then turn to an angle where the cannon can hit it. Click the cannon to load it with the cannonball, then click again, firing mode, to do some damage. You'll get some sailing XP. I don't see how else they could do combat with this. I think this is fine. I just hope that among like being able to shoot your cannons, you'll also be able to hit stuff with range and mage. I think your cannon is almost like an extra person or taming or summoning, where it's like you are the main person fighting this thing, but your cannon is going to help you kill it faster or something like that. I don't know. Could be cool. This is going to have a whole new blog to it, so I'm not really going to go further into it until we get the more details. Secondary gameplay stuff, so you can go out. So this will be stuff like you use sailing as a vessel, literally, to get you to a spot, and then you use a different skill to start harvesting. So this would be coral farming, for example. 4 examples here. Coral farming, deep sea trawling, mineral dredging, and sea monster hunting. Last one sounds cool. The other ones sound like just fun little skilling activities, reclined skilling activities. So, for example, go out in your boat, see how they've thrown down a little rope here, get into the water, and start harvesting some coral. A new farming / herb lore / etc. So it requires a farming level, gives farming and sailing XP. Access to higher tiers of reef will require a higher sailing level. An aquarium is an idea for a new farming method. It would work like a farming patch where a piece of coral grows in a dedicated location. What coral does is something we're keen open-ended, as we'd love to hear you suggest for possible new herb lore fletching and crafting interactions. Yeah, I definitely think you should just like make a whole new resource. Like you've got logs where it's like, okay, I've got oak logs, and then I've got the equivalent of oak logs would be like an iron arrowhead, and then the equivalent of that. Like, so yeah, it'd be cool if they could turn coral into a resource where it's like, yeah, you combine, low-level coral with iron and oak logs to make a new item that you can use on your boat. I think it should be directly tied to sailing. Like, coral shouldn't be able to upgrade Torva, for example. Coral should be able to upgrade your boat, or give you, if it was a herb lore, if it was a potion, it'd be making potions that are specifically dedicated to sailing. I'm just going to pass along that. Let me know your thoughts on that below. Deep sea trawling, this will be cool. It's just fishing. Look at all these weird little friggin' glubtubus and Weppel over here. Look at these guys. Weird names. Ready to fish? Yeah, for sure. I mean, sailing, fishing goes together like woodcutting and, what's that shit called? Fire making. Like, they're synonymous. They're the yin to the yang kind of thing. So that's another reason why I do think sailing fits, is like it should have been there from day one. Anyways, regardless, if you want to get out there, get some big old fishes. Prove me wrong here, but I think we're ready for a fish that heals like 25 or 24. Like, what if they added a fish that heals 23, another one that heals 24, another one that heals 25, another one that heals 26. You could also, and call me crazy here, you could add a fish that takes, instead of 3 ticks to eat, it takes 5. Like, the delay is 5 ticks, but it heals like 40. which is the equivalent of using like a manta ray and a Karam one all in one tick. I just wonder how you could manage that, because you would just be able to fit a ton of these fish in your inventory. I don't think they'd be good PKing. Like, if you could just one tick eat that. I don't know. It's just a thought. I'd be interested to see how that shapes up. But instead of having having to combo eat, it just one click and would give you 40 health. I don't think they should go above 40. But then you'd be paying for that with DPS. Like, it's worse DPS to use this because the delay is longer, for example. Anyways, new fishing method: get out in the sea, catch the little glubbies. Sea monster hunting. Okay, this is the last like big thing that mineral dredging. Okay, sea monster. Hold on one second. Mineral dredging. This is cool. You basically throw down a really strong net to scoop up some minerals. This is what I'm picturing here, and I know they might not be doing this, but imagine you pull up this rock that is, there's all kinds of stuff sticking out the side of it. Like, see, this is like a rock, and it's got some gold and sapphire sticking out. You like pull up this rock, and then you place it either on the deck of your ship, or you place it down anywhere. Like, you go to the GE and you click on the rock in your inventory, and it'll put it down, and then you mine it. And when you mine it, it then fills up your inventory with gems and ores and stuff like that. I think that would be really cool. You're basically harvesting an entire ore, a set of rocks, like a runite rock that you would find in the middle of the wilderness. Well, this is like one that you can literally bring anywhere. Like, it's in your inventory. Maybe there's a max of 1, and it weighs 100 kilograms or something. But I think that'd be pretty cool. Sea monster hunting, let's go. High intensity. This is going to be like, you have two choices. You either do sailing races, or you do sea monster hunting. Like, this is just going to be fun. It's a mixture of hunter, sailor, oh my gosh. Hunter, slayer, and sailing. Like, 3 skills that people love, and combine the 3 of them, you get a pretty good time. This guy's saying lol, which is great. These graphics are all fantastic, by the way. So you hunt down a dangerous creature in the sea and slay them for fame and fortune. Like, that's so fun. Like, hunt down a giant blue whale. Sorry, Bodhi. Hunt down, the elusive ligma snake. Hunt down, I don't know, anything like that, It'd be pretty dope. You get new unique slayer tasks that will be available at sea or on islands reached by sailing. So I'm picturing you get in the boat, you sail out to this island that you can't really teleport to. You talk to a slayer master who's there. Man, lock it behind a quest too if you want. Like a really cool quest with a ton of cool cutscenes and stuff like that, where you learn how to track monsters at sea. And then you get assigned, like, all right, we've found that there's something out there to the southwest lunar islands, and you're like, all right, so you go out there, kind of like a Pokemon encounter where you're going along, and then all of a sudden you notice some bubbles coming up from the ground, and then all of a sudden you get attacked by like a bunch of tentacles. That could be super cool. It'll feel like old school RuneScape, even though all this stuff is so like crazy and so far gone. Where it's like, is this just Sea of Thieves? Is this like a completely different game at this point? But like, we need that. We need an entire revitalization of the game, and this is like the best way of expanding the game extensively and adding new mechanics and adding new ecosystems and everything, is to just do a massive expansion. And the best way of doing it, again, is on the open ocean. There's so much there that's just you can find. And same thing in real life, guys. They've only like explored 5% of the ocean or something like that, so we don't know who's out there. Maybe you do get sailing XP in real life too. Stuff cool. Summary, future things, expeditions, ocean raid, that should be a priority. That should be a get that done 6 months after release or 3 months after release. But we know how long TOA took for them to make. Ship PvP, like actual PvP combat, I think it's fine if they release without this. I do want them to, if they're releasing sailing with 5 pieces of content, I do wish that they'd push and make it have a bit more. Like, treasure hunts shouldn't be that bad. Like, they're just going to expand clue scrolls to the ocean. I think that should be there from the start, for sure. Aquariums, that'll be cool. I think that should also be there from the start. I think that's pretty easy. It's just like a way of tying in farming, where you can go in your player-owned house, build an aquarium, and then the fish and stuff that you catch you can put in there just as like a decoration, and then you could also grow coral and other resources that you find in the ocean. Summary, well, I don't know, I've summarized a lot of stuff. All of this can be read, all of these screenshots and stuff, they're very, very cool, very goodly done. Watch the video if you wanted to hear it directly from the horse's mouth. Again, watch it on 2x speed. I had no issues understanding it. Basically, I think we're in good hands. I think the sails do be flapping in the correct direction, yeah, basically at this point, subscribe if you like clicking buttons. That's it. I'm going to leave now, and it'd be really funny if the video ended while I was mid-sentence. Like, can you imagine I was just